Thank you for making the accommodations for me. I apologize. That day I went to run some errands, and the snow caught me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it was crazy though.
I'm happy that you're safe and everything is fine.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So awesome. So that day we had a call and we go over who are all the people who will be playing different roles. So I can quickly share my screen
Yes.
and give you a quick rundown of what we have done that day. The hope is by the end of this project, everybody will level up
Hmm.
in wherever they're earning. And it's great that we are starting from scratch. Maybe the version 2.0 would be more fancier.
Right, right.
From role side, you said you want to be a team lead. You're welcome to do that. Um,
Oh, so I right. Let me explain. Right, what was my plan? Because, like, I'm working with a international organization right now. It's called
uh-huh.
Solution,
Okay.
and like they have the because they've picked people from all over the world. Like
Okay.
literally, they have Asia, all the five continents,
Okay.
everybody, and but the way they work, because it's like we never like meet in the same time zone, so
Mm-hmm.
all the meetings are done on Monday from certain times to certain time, and
Okay.
every like I have so far been in two sprints with them, and uh, they have all over the place their team. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whoever is doing this, because we have that I know three developer teams right now,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, I've noticed that most of the developers are working on the same ticket, and they don't
Mm-hmm.
even know. You know what I mean? Like they could be working
Mm-hmm.
together, but it's just there is a lot of people, like 500
Sure.
people,
Right. Right.
and then like I want to jump in and say, no, listen, guys. I've worked with an agile environment. We should do
Mm-hmm.
this and this. We should communication in this way, task management in this way. But like I just got in, you know what I mean. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I have worked with another team of developers where we cannot take uh, a duocracy approach. You know, what I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if we see that something is needed to be done, oh, listen, this is needed to be done, and I'm gonna do it, right? And this is the
Mm-hmm.
solution.
So
And
these 500 people, are they paid positions or volunteer positions?
there is one team of developers that are entirely volunteers. I'm in that
Okay.
team, but most of the people, uh, it's a social network. It's very
Okay.
similar to what you're trying to do, except that
Okay.
they're like global. You know what I mean? Like
Okay. I see.
to,
I see.
to help the people. Uh, I mean, like they connect the people who require help to the people who offer help,
Okay.
basically.
Perfect.
So, uh, and all of them, included the CEO right now, because he was like passed down the project or something like that. It's kind of, but everybody
Mm-hmm.
started as a volunteer, and
Mm-hmm.
then they get incorporated. The guy explained me based on how much you evolve, how much you do, and stuff like that. Like we hire you basically. So this
I
is like
see.
a internship of sorts.
Right. Right. Right.
And but
And
you know what? Like what I'm trying to say is that I see room for improvement in there. You know, and
mm-hmm.
but I don't want to be the one to say, you know what, guys, you're doing it wrong. Let's do it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I have worked in the past with my team, and but like that, right? Like a duocracy, and then we all are the leader
Mm.
and saying, listen, I've noticed that
Perfect.
this is wrong. Can we do something, or what do you guys think,
Yeah.
or whatever? And then we always come to an agreement and something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
to all of us have a voice and say,
Yeah.
you know what, like I don't think this is a good approach, or this and that, and because I believe that because this is like a building environment,
Mhm.
we can, we all can say, you know what, I don't like this.
Yeah,
Let's do it this way, or what do you
I
guys
love
think
that.
about doing it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I want to be in the role a full stack developer,
Okay.
because I feel I am comfortable programming, what I mean, like logic and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I uh, like I became like I monetize my front end abilities because it's simpler for me. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like
Mhm.
it's a static websites or even dynamic a little bit. The front end is always very simple. It's just
Mhm.
visual and stuff like that. But I actually come from the back end, not on web development, but like in programming in general. And I feel more comfortable in the back end, but I don't have much experience in the back end.
Mhm.
So I think
Mhm.
this is a great opportunity for me to like involve myself
Yeah.
in the full stack and do the front end because I already feel comfortable and have the skills,
Yeah.
and then also touch a little bit, and if not do nothing, at least learn a lot from the back end developers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
And I think the way we will work on this project, it will be a very smooth experience from one end to another one. I feel like,
mm, okay,
right? Even for this one, right? That I avoided all the tools and we
right,
just pen and paper,
right,
right?
right.
So
That's how yeah,
now
that's
is
how I
good
always start.
to get into the flow. And once you are into the flow, you go extra mile to learn things.
Right.
When you have a
Exactly.
problem, you find the solution, and that's when you learn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, great. So, like, let me ask you a question because I've been confused about the project itself. Let me just find it on.
So before we go there, I
Okay.
didn't ask you for your introduction.
Oh,
I
sure.
got everyone else's introduction.
Yes.
So how about we do that real quick?
Yes. So, my name is Roberto. I am from Mexico originally, but I moved to the United States like 5 years ago, something like
Okay.
6 years now, and like I've been here and there, jumping from one job to the other, and
Mm-hmm.
warehouses, restaurants, all of it. I just to put
Wow.
food on the table, but always on the side, I've always developed. You know what I mean? One thing
Mm-hmm.
or the other. I found a very uh, like monetizable way to develop more my abilities in the web
Mm-hmm.
development field because did have the space to create like a website, on the side
Mm-hmm.
while
Mm-hmm.
also during the day having my job. But I think 2 months now or 1 month, like
Mm-hmm.
month and a half, I decided to say, you know what, I'm just gonna go for a full time
Nice.
development. Yeah, and I quit my job, and I'm working hard. You know what I mean? I have no idea what I'm doing, but I believe in my skills, and I'm building like networking, like for you,
Mm-hmm.
for example. Uh, I know that I can say if somebody comes or I apply for a job, I can say no, because I'm working with a open source project, doing this
Mm-hmm.
and that, and so it helps me on both sides, right? Like as experience itself, and also to showcase my abilities as well. So, but I'm excited not for my experience itself, but for what the project can become. You know what I mean? Because as
Yeah.
soon as you started describing what it was, and I say, man, that's great, because I see 10 years from now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how
Yeah.
big it can be, and especially in like I don't know the bubble that you try to build, but it's okay. So myself, right? So I've been studying. I always try to stay up to date. I really enjoy programming a lot because it helps me, uh, like it keeps my intellect running. You know, what I mean, always learning one thing or the other. I love to solve problems. Every, like in the house, in my job. Like I guess that's been my life purpose. if you could say, because like I've never noticed until very recently that I always try to minimize the work, right? Like for example, I was working in a warehouse, and we were making bales of clothes, big bales of 2,000 pounds, and it was three people working in the position, right? In that position. When I came, well, by the time that I leave, there were three people will take an hour to make one bale, and by the time I left, it was only me making a bale in 20 minutes because I
3 hours
discovered.
to 20 minutes. Wow.
Yes, and I didn't realize it, right? Like my bosses and my manager, they will tell me it was how I saw the world. I will say like, man, listen, if let me understand first how it's done. Once I had understood how it's done, let me understand the machine. Right? Okay, if I push this button, if I do this, if I do that, it minimizes by 2 minutes, and then in by 2 minutes and 2 minutes and 2 minutes, I was able to because I am lazy by nature, right? So right, but for real, I don't understand, right? Like I hate working twice in the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if I solve it already once, for me it's not logical to do it again. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna do it again, it's because like that, right? I discovered it. I like to compress the
Yeah.
work, and man, I don't know, I've been talking to some people, and like I wanna incorporate into I don't know, like my personal brand or something like that, because now that I've gathered feedback from people, I noticed that it is actually a very good skill. You know what I mean? To be able to identify like a problem and minimize it to the max.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Man.
if you have any personal questions you would like me to answer you.
Well, two follow-up question. When did you start learning web or programming? How many
So
years? How many
right,
months? I mean, how
programming
long?
itself, I remember I was introduced on high school. They were trying
Okay.
to teach
Okay.
us Pascal. That was the very
Yes.
first, yeah, the
Yes.
very first language that
My engineering.
yeah. And once, like when we got, because I didn't understood nothing, I didn't saw the purpose of this, but once, and because like I say, that mentality of always doing the minimum for the max outcome, that's always been with me. So once I saw in Pascal how the loops work, like it was over. I fell in love with it because I was like, oh wow, you know what I mean? Like it was impressive for me. But I was like, what, like 16, 15 years, something like that. And then after that, like I didn't want to go to college, and one of my professors of high school actually hired me for. He had like a software development company, and he taught me a little bit, and he actually like give me a scholarship to go to college for computer science engineering. And then from there on, like I was always in
So
the
you
loop.
finish your computer science?
I did finish my computer. I've been having problems right now because now that I'm here in the United States, like I went to school in Mexico, and then I spent 1 year trying to like pass my title, right, like my certificate to the United States. And it was like I had to pay a lot of money, and I just was not willing
Yeah.
to do all of that, you know.
Well, the good news is you don't have to. You
Right,
should be
that's
able
what
to
I
get a job
yeah, that's
without.
what I learned afterwards. So I
Yeah.
was like, no, but that's fine, perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, ever since then, I've right now I'm learning Rust. I just discovered Rust, and I like it a lot, especially for something called ownership. And I believe that's how I've been understanding programming my whole life. You know what I mean? Because I see the data just moving through the variables, like moving through variables, and then modify it or do something with it, and then continue the flow. And like the way in Rust that they describe ownership is basically that, right? How the data becomes, well, one variable becomes the owner of that data, and if you pass it, then that becomes the new owner. Is I mean, it's simple to understand. It's just a little complicated, but just because of that, I liked it a lot. I learned TypeScript. I learned a little bit of Python. I don't know. I don't remember why I left it, but Django, because I was trying to jump to web development, and the only framework the Python had at the time, it was one called Django, and it was just too much for. I thought, right? I said, man, it's just HTML and CSS, right? Like, what do I need all of this for just? But it's just how the languages have been evolving during the time. But I'm sorry. What was the other question?
That was the first one. I forgot the second one. I think I wanted to ask what's the recent but anyway, I have a other follow-up question or
Right.
maybe pointers that, yeah, first, I'm amazed by your passion, and the way you talk, the way your face light up, and then the way you get into your own zone while talking. It's amazing,
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank you.
You said you started with the back end, and you was talking about the data flow, how data flow from front end to back end. I mean,
Right.
that's what I was also fascinated by, and I kind of see that myself 15 years ago in
Mm,
in your place. So
right.
it's amazing. Um, I I like to think in quarters. So what I'm thinking that where we will be with this project by March 31st. And by March 31st, we will kind of see what's the next thing that we want to do by January, March, April, May, June, right?
Right.
So I think that's how we will think. You're absolutely right that sometime it also fascinates me that where this thing can go, right? So what I want to see, what I'm thinking that by March 31st, we will launch the first iteration.
Mhm.
And I want to keep it really simple with basic technology in the front end, basic technology in the back end, and database. And when I'm saying basic, meaning number of things and whatever team kind of decide. I think for the front end, people have said React. That's exactly what we are using when we are rebuilding Advent Health mobile apps, not mobile app, Advent Health account and app. I didn't tell you who I am and my background, but I will tell you in a minute. But let's talk about the application first. So I'm thinking that in the front end, we will do React, responsive React, not even React Native, just React
Mhm.
to build the front end. On the back end, Abdul Aziz
Yes. Yeah.
suggested Python, and
Mhm.
I'm fine with that. On my full-time work, we are going .NET or C Sharp, but I'm fine. If looks like you have touched it, he has touched it, and if that's what we want to use, I'm fine. And I will avoid using a framework, and I would suggest that we use React with a library, maybe. I mean, React is a library, but if we want to bring some pieces on the back end and the front end, and then I don't know which database, but whatever is simple between SQL, MySQL, and MongoDB or
Mongo.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. About the website, maybe I can share my screen again. But you had the question about the website, so let
No,
me.
just the description because first when we were just like talking about
Yeah.
it, I had an idea of what it was, and then when I was reading the description, I kind of got confused.
Okay,
Uh,
okay, okay. Let me share this then.
okay.
My the way I'm thinking is how do I get rid of this guy? Maybe it will. So you will see testimonial.2. Testimonial.2 is one of the website that does allow you to collect testimonial. These testimonials are like this, where a person will add their name, some kind of heading, and then a description, what they like about this particular website. They also do videos and other thing. For the iteration 1, we're just thinking text.
Right.
So I don't think I have an edit version, but let's say if I play this video, it will give me.
Create a testimonial about my. It takes some right video.
So okay. So what we will have is a registration page, a login page, and a landing page where let's say well, there are two type of users. One is who want testimonial from other people, and then the second one who will give the testimonial to.
Give me 1 second.
Sure.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no worries, no worries.
Yeah, so you let me see if I understand. You want to connect the people who require a testimony who the people who give it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the person who require testimonial will create an account, will create kind of the product that they want testimonial for, and then this person will add the link in his website or wherever he want to, and then the person who want to give the testimonial will click that link and come to are my blog posts are helping, for example. This is the person who want, and will add send in text. So they will click this, and then they will.
Right.
I'm not seeing the page.
They fill up the information.
Yeah, they will fill out the information somewhere, and then that's it. Right? That's it. They will fill out the information, and this person who are asking for testimonial will able to see all those testimonial on this page. So we will keep it simple. And then the last thing is, in this testimonial, we will provide them a way so that they can embed that. I'm trying to figure out where is that. They can embed or do something so that they can embed that on their website
with the link
or whatever they want to do with it.
Okay.
So, but we will keep it whatever is the most simple thing. That's kind of the concept. This website charge like $50. This website charged $50 a month to be able to do this. Obviously, this has tons of features.
Right.
We will go with basic, with no limitation, whatever the customer want to do, and we won't charge anything, at least in the beginning.
Right.
And the idea for the word, so there is a you probably have seen him. His name is Eddie, and he has created a Linktree free. So I use the testimonial free as the name
Right.
of the website.
Okay. Yeah.
Which right now take us to this. So this is kind of the concept.
Right.
The goal behind it. One more thing that I wanted to cover. So let me cover who I am.
Okay.
So I work at Advent Health. It's a group of hospital, about 50 plus hospital, plus they have provider offices and all that. And then they have so they have this website. Then they have their account website where a user can go and check their health record and all. So a group of about 50-70 people manage these applications.
Right.
And I work in that department as technical program manager, senior manager of the delivery and activation. So my job is to connect all the people from product manager to UX to engineering manager to DevOps manager, and bring them together to
Right.
build and release. So that's what I do.
Mm.
So what I'm doing in in Twitter, what I'm doing with this project. So I have been writing for almost 4 years now, and as I wanted to turn my hobby into something more professional,
Right.
something that can be my retirement plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where I thought that I have 22 years of experience, so I can turn this into a mentorship type business coaching. I don't know what. And
Right.
as I said, I think in 3-month iteration. So last 3 months, from October to December, I built a quarterly planning workbook that help anyone um, list down their top goals and break it into weeks and achieve them in just 3 months.
Mm.
And then I said, um, the people who I work with, my writing coach, everybody said you have to be very specific about who is that one person you're helping. So I said the person should be the same as who I am, is the web developer.
Right.
So that's how I pick this. And then I started interacting with them. What I found that this group of people are tremendously talented. They have all the resources, like it's hundreds and hundreds of resources for them to learn.
Right.
The thing that they are missing are two. One, the discipline and consistency is to learn, because out of these hundreds of resources, you can start with one and then second, and you keep jumping rather than
Right.
finishing one thing. And then my own journey, when I started my journey, my first interview or first set of interview, I was worried that there are 300 other people, why they will pick me.
Mm.
But I spoke in that interview for the academic project that I was working on. It was an ASP website, but the way I spoke about it, the way I spoke about the choices that I made, the spoke about who this website is for, I got that job. And not only
Mhm.
that job, I got 2 other jobs,
Right.
and it completely changed my journey. So this is what I was. This is where I came to a conclusion that if I can help people pick what's the top thing that they want to do in 1 quarter and do it, bring them discipline, focus, and then
Right.
second, if I can help them with a project, right, building a project. So my goal, my mission is to create 5 projects with the detail that anybody can start and kind of build it.
Mm-hmm.
Testimonial Free is the first project in that line,
Okay.
where we as a group will figure out the detail, will figure out how we will execute. And obviously this can go even bigger next quarter. Like instead of creating another project, why not we work on this because it's going so well.
Right.
So that I think there's one more thing. 5 project, this. Yeah, there was something else, but this is where we are. So that's
Right.
how I started. That's how we all joined hand. I don't know what the next quarter look like, where this will convert into a big cohort, or will it convert into another project? Will it convert into a course? I don't know. But this quarter we will be helping each other. We'll take it to wherever it goes.
Right. Right. That's the plan.
Yeah. So did that explain? One more thing. I think when I started, I posted things here, then some in discussion and some in wiki. So I'm
Okay.
also learning this whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
As you know, I work for Advent Health, it's all commercial. I've used Jira, Confluence, and GitLab and all. This area is new for me, but I have built tremendous learning here. After the call, my the DevOps manager at Advent Health helped me set up my local environment and all. So I know much more than what I knew Friday,
Right.
but it's a journey that we will go together and we all will learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
So any question on everything that I said?
No, I did. That answered my question. Yeah, because
Okay.
I was just confused. So like, can you scroll a little bit? Right there, right? So Testimonial Free is an open source testimonial with the ambition to include features that typically come with a high cost web applications. So right there, this project aims to provide web developers with a team environment to make, right, like, so first I thought, so that the project aims to provide web developers with a team environment. That's from Career Jumpstart, right? That's the goal of Career Jumpstart.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yes.
And then
Yes. So
this inherited because it's a part of it.
yeah. So what I mean to say by that line is, I'm trying to pull like project manager, business analyst, programmers.
Right.
I'm talking to somebody who is interested in UX. So that kind of environment, that where
Yes.
you are working with all these different pieces
Right.
together, and you have an opportunity to see how a UX person think, hey, how a business analyst think.
Exactly.
That kind of environment.
Yeah, that's exactly why I was very interested in it, because I
That was
say,
the second point that I forgot that I wanted to say something. So yes, that was the point that I was trying to
yeah, it's awesome. You know what I mean? Because like my thinking came from there to say that, okay, yes, we're working on testimonial free now,
Mhm.
but 5 years in from now, we can have 6 developer teams complete from product development to deployment, right? UX, QA,
Yeah.
backend, from everything. And so, like, they could, I mean, with that alone, it could just, the possibilities are
Yeah,
infinitely.
I can see, I can list 10 different possibilities
Right?
right now, but
Yeah.
again, I try to cool down myself. Let
One
put
step at a
31st
time.
is, right?
Right.
Let's focus on 31st, and then we will focus on June.
Right.
Let's keep putting everything in the queue. Don't discard it.
Right.
Let's put all of those things in queue. And then when we are end of March, we will pick that, all right, so we
What's
could
the
do
next
these
step?
100 things, but we can only deliver 2 things. So what are
Right.
those 2 things?
That's awesome, man. I like the consistency. No, you know what I mean? Like, the structure that is gonna come from this is gonna serve everybody. Really,
It
they're
is.
gonna understand how the development process work. They're gonna understand the role in it. You know, like, it's just amazing. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So the next thing that I think we need to do is to figure out the folder structure here.
Yeah.
And there's backend, there's front end, and then I'm probably going to create a documentation folder.
Right.
Today we use Confluence to create a bunch of documentation.
Okay.
Actually, I can show. I don't think this is a. We don't have any sensitive information, but we use Confluence, and this is how our Confluence look. Sorry, this is how our Jira look like. Where
Right.
this is the active sprint that everybody is working on, and this is the backlog, and we have ton of it, and then we have bunch of project, and then we have a portfolio view. So this is my environment. This is where I'm coming from to this open source world, and I'm completely open. And then this
Right.
is our Confluence, which is
Yeah,
which is where
Jira, right? We can do exactly the same that Jira does. We can do it with GitHub. Like,
yes, I was learning that, and that's what I want to do. I was just showing that the type of documentation
right.
pages and all the information that we have for this project. Again, nothing is sensitive here. And then there is a template that we follow here, which I believe come out the box from Confluence, that these are the product requirement
Mm,
document, for meaning for each area, and let's say testimonial submission, right? That's kind of one big feature, that how a user will submit. So that comes with what's objective, and what are the different requirements, and then a link to the design and open questions. So that's how we bring things together.
Right.
On
That's
top
awesome.
of that, we also have this. This is a box view of, let's say, login page. So login to create account, to account registration,
Oh, the workflow.
workflow, right? How the different steps are going. And then we have this type of a screen that indicate how this will look in web and mobile. And then different notification. Again, this is my work environment. This is where I'm coming from to open source. This is my first open source project.
Nice.
So, but my desire is not to sacrifice that type of quality, not to leave that. I want to be able to duplicate everything here, because my number one goal is that March 31st, when we finish this project, everybody who is part of this project, this team, able to speak really proudly in their interview, just like how I did in my interview 20 years ago, right? That's goal. And if I have to, so I don't want to limit myself with what is available in open source, right? I think it can do everything that I'm trying to do to bring that kind of quality. Again, the goal is to face that interview and be able to explain proudly that the thing that we have done. So
yes. No, it's awesome. It's a great idea. It is. I do have also problems with the way we're right now. The folders, the directories and stuff. We're gonna come to an agreement at some point, but yeah, like for example, you see how like we have the back end and then the front end, but inside the back end there is another folder called Testimonial Free. And
have you seen this before?
Let me see.
Maybe I can find it.
The framework, right?
Yeah. So how you build a team?
Okay, yeah, I think I've seen that before. Right, and then
we found
once we iterate through all of it, we come to everybody to the same point. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, so we are in the forming stage, and then as we decide about the technology, folder structure, all that, that's where I am expecting some kind of storming gonna come between you, other people, Vishrut or Abdulaziz and all. But that's where how well we handle that define how well we go to the next stages.
Okay, so let me ask you this now. So, for example, when if I have ideas, feedback that I want to put there, it will be on the discussions on GitHub, right? And
I didn't get much success with this. I think we can ask everybody to respond here. This is open conversation. I would love that. Otherwise, what I found that I'm getting more quicker response with our group.
Oh, in Twitter.
In Twitter group. Yeah, so I'm fine. I think at some point we want to bring those conversation here, so whoever joined later can see all,
understand.
Can understand why we decided what we decided and all that kind of thing. So yes, maybe we can start using that.
Okay.
I think what we need to do is a couple of things here. First, we can add all the people who are part of the team, and then define the technology and folder structure, and whoever want to contribute. So let's do that. And then one of the challenge that I'm facing these days for last 3 weeks is my office work. Because of this new project, because of this everything that I'm doing in office, I am getting very less bandwidth. But if I had more bandwidth, I would have defined that what is the development activity that we will do next. But think
Right.
about this, that I know there will be a registration page and login page and then a landing page, right? If we think about these three, and if we try to build these three, we will be able to create the project structure.
Yeah, yeah, correct.
So I think that's what we can shoot for, and then while we are building that, we can build this structure as well. So far, I've seen Abdul Ziz is vocal and contributing. So I think if you and him can start the conversation,
Right.
and then we can add other people, whoever is interested. Again, the project is like that. Whoever contribute more will get to contribute more.
Right. Right. Right.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to limit anyone, or I also understand that some people have their job and some people have other things. So,
Mhm.
but we should be okay. We should be okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's great, man. That'll cover it for me. I'm gonna try to. I see the open issue in there, so it's basically like a. Let me just see it
I was
real.
just experimenting with that,
Right.
but we can build that. So issues and project, those combined together. I
Right.
think I can make it work with the project planning.
Yeah. No, it's great, man. So like right now we're looking to with a wireframe. Just the user
Mhm.
authentication system, basically.
Yeah.
Was-
And I think the way it will be is she will design in the paper like
Mhm.
this. Most probably that's what will happen, that
Yeah.
she will design in this, and then we will take a picture and then post it there.
Yeah. That worked perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I cannot wait. I'm eager to work on this.
Cool. Cool. So what's the next step? Let me see what else we discussed there. Oh, I'm going to share my screen one more time. Um, I'm thinking that we will do a weekly meeting, maybe Sunday, maybe Saturday morning, and we will go over a couple of things that how was the week, what we did. Each person can share what they have accomplished, and then
Right.
the main thing that you do in those weekly meeting is to set the focus for the next week.
Right.
So we will do that, and then daily, I'm thinking that I will start a thread every morning with 3 questions. What I did yesterday, what is the plan?
And what's blocking me? Yeah.
Yep,
Like a
just
scrum
just
meeting.
conventional. So I will post that, and everybody will respond to that, and that's how we will be able to create momentum in public
Right. Exactly.
for this project. So I think yeah.
No, it's great, man. I think you gotta figure it out.
I will figure it with you. We all will. By the way, are you okay for me to post this in YouTube?
Absolutely. Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
there was a section where you was talking about your journey. I think I want to create that as another separate clip and
Mhm.
post it. That
Yeah,
is
no problem. Go
your
ahead.
good journey.
Yeah, awesome, man. Just send me the link so I can watch it too.
Sure, sure. All right, sir.
All right, man. Thank you so much. I'm gonna see what can I do over here. Oh, by the way, I don't really like if I create issues on GitHub or I create new conversations on the discussions or whatever. There is no problem in there.
Go for it. Yep.
Okay, cool, great.
Yep. The only request that I am making is just be mindful, be respectful. That's all.
Yeah. No, I just wanna like start documenting everything that
Do
I'm.
it. Yeah.
What I mean? Okay, great, great, perfect.
Right.
No, thank you so much.
Yeah. I think at some point we will figure out between let me show you one more thing.
Mhm.
So GitHub is providing us discussion, wiki, and then within the code itself, I can create a documentation and MD file, right? Those are the 3 different options. So What I'm trying to avoid that I
Repeating.
have some information here and some information there. I think what we will do for the documentation, for the main documentation, I think I'm going to create a documentation folder, docs folder. Underneath we will have requirement, underneath we will have technology, technical documentation, architecture document, I mean, everything. And then we will use discussion. So I think maybe we don't want to use wiki because this is more integrated.
Exactly. Yeah, because wiki and the docs are exactly the same. But I will also recommend for you to have them as documents, because if you save them on the wiki, they remain on GitHub. And if you save them on documents, then you have them. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, that's
Discussions
perfect.
are different because they're alive. They're
Okay.
constantly changing, updating, and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like more like a replacement for the Twitter group.
Mhm.
But the documentation, I will recommend you to have the on Markdown files.
Right. And then we can edit from the local.
Exactly.
Yep. Okay, perfect. That's all.
All right, man.
Cool. Good meeting with you, Roberto.
The same, Thank you so
Welcome
much.
to the team.
Talk to you later.